Hey everybody, this is Jesse B. Gilmore, agency transformation coach and founder of Niche in Control, creator of Leverage for Growth.
And I'm Lucas James, founder of Twiz.io, which scaled from $0 to $200,000 a month with my own agency.
We are the hosts of Leverage for Growth podcast agency leverage episodes. We know that in order to scale your agency successfully, there are multiple shifts that need to happen within the founder's mindsets, skill sets, and leadership styles. We are on a mission to interview marketing and PR agency owners on their journey to 6, 7, and 8 figures and leverage the lessons from their journey to save you time, energy, and money in order for you to get your agency to the next level. If you find value in these episodes, watch the case study video to learn more about Leverage for Growth and how we successfully scale agencies quickly at nicheincontrol.com/case study. That's nicheincontrol.com/case study. You are now listening to Leverage for Growth. Hey everybody, this is Jesse B. Gilmore, founder of Niche in Control and creator of Leverage for Growth. Welcome to the Agency Leverage Edition. Today I am here with Tracy McCoy, founder of Get Fish Slapped, a digital agency with a passion for awakening people and businesses to their social media opportunities, specializing in creative marketing, content creation, social media, and digital advertising. Thanks a lot for coming to our show.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about the history and background of your agency?
Sure, absolutely. So I had worked in the grind for other people for a little over probably 12, 15 years. And I was at a point in my life where I was ready to do something different and work for myself. So my husband and I, we had moved out of Miami and moved to a small town in Sebring, Florida, and decided that we were going to start a family. And with that, I was doing some consulting on the side, and that turned into a little bit more. And I decided I should turn it into a business. I thought it would be a great way to have some work-life balance with the baby on the way, and thought it would be a great kind of side gig. Well, the side gig quickly turned into a full-time deal, and we got really busy very quickly shortly after I had the baby, and we've just grown from there. So we've been in business 8 years, and we have 9 employees at this point. So it's super exciting to see what started as this dream to have a little bit of work-life balance and be able to spend some time with the family and do it for myself. It's turned into a real company now. So it's very exciting.
Awesome. That's really cool. A lot of times agency owners kind of start off as kind of the side gig, and then for some, it kind of just blossoms really fast. Kind of those earlier stages, when you were deciding that it was going from a side gig to a full-time, what were some of those kind of either aha moments or kind of like, this is actually going to blow up? Did you have any experiences that were kind of like, whoa?
So when I first started the company, I was 9 months pregnant. So I didn't necessarily intend on it taking off very quickly. And my intention was to kind of slowly get things moving along. But once I had multiple people starting to reach out to me individually saying, I'd like to work with you. I'd like to work with you. It was all just kind of one-on-one. I thought, I really ought to make this into a business. I don't want this to be the freelancer Tracy. Eventually, I'd like this to turn into a business, and depends on how fast it grows, but I want to take it somewhere, and it's not just going to be me. So I decided to create an LLC and officially start the business when I was 9 months pregnant with my daughter, had her, and then started taking on some clients, and then started reaching out to people who I'd worked with in the past, and took on some really large clients. And then from there, we're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be something. This is going to be big. And my husband, about 9 months into starting the business, then came on full time with our company. So it was a pretty cool transition. So that's where we started, with just the two of us around a kitchen table and flying all over. And then it slowly transitioned into where we are now. So my big aha moment, I guess, was when we, all of a sudden, it's just like, people were calling just based on previous experiences before starting the company. And then that led to everything that's happened along the way. It all hasn't been easy, but it's definitely, there's always going to be those ups and downs, but we were able to persevere through several different, fluctuations, and have had some really strong continued success, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And there's a time that you talked about going from like the idea of a freelancer into like a real business owner. And a lot of times that's a mental shift for agency owners.
Mhm.
They think that the way that they impact the world is based around their service as opposed to creating something a lot bigger. What were some of the things, if you can remember back to the duplication of self, like trying to make it to where you're not the one doing the work, having other people do the work? What were some of those things that you either put in place, like procedures or processes, or how did you know kind of how to duplicate it so that way your clients get the good service that you had offered originally?
Absolutely. So that is actually one of the hardest things I feel like anybody goes through as a business owner, whether you're an agency or you just own a business in general. When you're hands-on and doing everything, and then you have to pull back and go, I'm too busy to be able to do everything. How do I give this to other people? Um, that in itself is scary. So um, part of the biggest thing that's always set us apart was our speed to market and just customer service in general, and just taking great care of our clients. So we really were careful around who had those one-on-one conversations and everything with our clients. So as we would assign like client managers, we try to keep that between myself, my husband, and another person on our team who's been with us a long time. And then the rest of our team is that, you have all these people working behind the scenes to make it happen for that client. So we really tried to make sure that we didn't lose complete touch with what was happening with our customers, but we were able to continue
Hmm.
moving things along, I guess you could say.
Hmm. Awesome. And if as like there's been a lot of kind of learnings that you've had over the last 8 years or so. If you were to think back to maybe your previous self, you maybe like one or two steps, before where you are right now. What kind of advice would you give somebody maybe that's listening, that would either shortcut kind of their way to success or save them time, energy, or money, getting to where you're at right now?
Sure, absolutely. So, at least in the state of Florida, you can start your own LLC by just going to sunbiz.org. And it's very fast and easy to do to find your name and start your business. It's a pretty seamless process. I think some people get caught up in going to all of these different websites and they're like, oh my goodness, I have to pay thousands of dollars for somebody to create my LLC. No, you can do it on your own, and you could probably spend, I want to say it's less than $100 to get everything all set up with your EIN, your LLC, and everything else. Um, so I would say definitely look in those directions, talk to a CPA to get some really solid advice on where to start and what to do next. That's been one of the biggest things for us. It's helped keep us successful. Aside from client management, is working with great accountants that are able to give you good advice on how to structure your business along the way as you grow. Because if you miss a step there, you're going to owe a lot of money in taxes. So that would be one piece of advice that we were not super excited about at one point. We're like, oh my goodness, what did we do? We need to be an S corp. This is not okay. So we made that shift. And then another thing that I would say is when you hit rough times, just always remember you can always go work for somebody else, but you can't always work for yourself. And I think that was a mantra for me, that it's like, I want to create the future that I'm going to have. And I think looking at it, taking a couple of steps back, there were lots of instances where we could have gone, oh my goodness, like let's just throw in the towel. Like, this is really hard. We're losing money this year. This isn't a good thing. But then we're like, but we can get through it, and we can always go work for somebody else. It's not like there's not an opportunity somewhere to go work for somebody. So we just always kind of keep that in mind as you're starting out. If the opportunity's there and you feel like that you're able to go out and kind of seize that moment, do it, because you can always go do something else some other time. Your moment might not happen again, though, to start your own business. So I think that's one of the biggest takeaways for me with starting our company. And another thing, just to always kind of remember, and I feel like this is something that I still personally struggle with, but if I say yes to something, I'm going to have to say no to something else. So always think about, what if I say yes to this, what else am I going to have to say no to? So if you're going into your agency and you're thinking, I want to build my client base and I want to discount everything and I'm going to give everybody half off. Well, they might not have a whole lot of skin in the game, and you say yes to all those discounted services. Now you don't have the time for that really big client that just walked in the door, because you're chasing your tail with all these other customers that don't appreciate your services because they want everything. They want a Maserati for the price of a Hyundai. And it's, not always kind of, work out that way. So that's another thing that we've learned as well, is just really making sure that you put value on your services and what you do, that it is valuable, even though you may just be starting out, and not to undercut yourself too much. Otherwise, you will pay the price for it. And sometimes you do have to say no to a client. They may not fit your core values and fit your customer base. So it might, even though it might look great and shiny and they're going to give you all this money, you might get a month or two down the road and it turns into a really bad situation. So you really want to think about how you vet your clients, and make sure that they're the right fit on both sides. So those are, I think they're more takeaways than you asked for, but those are a couple of different things that I would definitely want to share with somebody who's just getting started, for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, I love it. All those, that advice is really important. Having the right clients, having the right financial structure, and being able to persevere, because you can always fall back on a job if you really needed to. That's awesome. So what, if someone is listening and they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for people to either get in touch with you, or do you have any offers for them that they could take advantage of?
So if you'd like to get in touch with me, you could visit our website and fill out a contact form. And then from there, we can go ahead and schedule some time, or you could email me directly at tracy@getfishlap.com. And our website is getfishlap.com. And no, I'm sorry, but I don't have any discounts or special offers out there because we don't undercut. So I'm sorry, but we are what we are. We're very reasonable. We're fair. And that's really something I pride myself on. So we don't discount our services.
That's awesome. And for Tracy, I'll put all of the links in the show notes. Thank you very much for coming to our show, Tracy. It's been awesome.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Agency owners, if you want to transform your agency to sustain and grow without your direct involvement, where you can stop working in the business and switch to working on the business, where you can regain control of your time, delegate effectively, get paid what you're worth, and have your team run the day-to-day, go to nicheincontrol.com/case study right now to learn more about Leverage for Growth. You can book a free strategy session with us to look at your systems, understand what needs to be done in order for you to scale, and get a free strategic plan for the next year to live the life of entrepreneurship that you've always dreamed about. Go to nicheincontrol.com/case study. That is nicheincontrol.com/case study now.